Hey there, this is Chad from Zombie Fight Shark. Welcome to the first Ableton edition of Too Many Plugins, and we're going to be discussing Operator. And it's going to be several videos long. Operator is an amazing little device in Ableton. It's included with Ableton, and it is very confusing. I consider myself fairly knowledgeable about how these things work, and I struggled with Ableton, and I just honestly, I had to hunker down and create a couple of hundred patches before I felt like I started to understand how it worked and how all of the pieces fit together. So we're going to break it down into segments and explain each little piece at a time. So hopefully by the time this is all done, it's going to be long, but by the time it's all done, you will have a firm understanding of what Operator is and how it works. Your very first thing when you're looking at it, when you open Operator, you see this A, B, C, D. And what do A, B, C, D mean? So each of those is an oscillator. Later, we'll get into how this A, B, C, D and the sequence of how these are arranged and how it affects your sounds. It's an FM synthesis, so frequency modulation synthesis. And each one of these oscillators affects the next one in line. Let's get into what all these knobs do just in the oscillator section here in this first section. So first, coarse. So this is the default patch, which is just a sine. And coarse tuning is what that is, and it's jumping the octaves. So pretty simple. Fine. I think most people who use synths understand this. And it's fine tuning, that's pretty simple. Fixed. So if you're making drums with your operator, then you'll utilize this fixed button, because fixed makes the your keyboard, it just plays the same note. So I'm gonna hit fixed, and you see this changes over to hertz, so you can pick your frequency. And I'm hitting different notes, but I'm hitting different keys on the keyboard, but I'm getting the same note. And the multi kind of turns into the coarse knob, but it's a different version of it where you're jumping multiple octaves. And there we go. Yeah, so see 110, a tenth, 100, 1,000. And it's a way that multi, you can use the oscillator as an additional LFO to modulate the signal when you're using it further up the chain. So that, we'll just put that in your hat. We'll come back to it later. Next, level, pretty simple. Hey, quiet, loud. Oof, that is piercing. Let's turn off fixed. All right, so level, I think we know what level does. Okay, so that part, pretty straightforward. And then your A, it turns it on and off. And depending on what your sequence is, which one of these you're using, turning off these can actually turn off the entirety of, you have no sound, like I'm pressing buttons, no sound, because I'm using this sequence chain, or this oscillator chain here, where A is the last one in the chain, so turning it off turns off everything. So let's turn it back on, and let's just talk a little bit about how to make a cool sound with just using this. We're not gonna get anything else, just using the oscillators. So number one, level. You're not gonna hear anything different until, like, you can change this all day long, all this other stuff here, but you're not gonna hear anything different until you've upped your level. So here we go. Okay, cool. There we go. We got a little thing going on there. Let's turn the fine down. All right, so, and what's happening, short version, it's both of these are sine waves, and the sine wave in the B here is affecting the sine wave in the A, and it's mashing them together. So there's pure sine wave. If you look at the oscilloscope, there's two sine waves together, smashed together. And let's see, let's turn this down and make the octaves a little bit closer. and the sine waves will make they'll be a little bit more geometrical. Should be, if I remember correctly. All right, so there's my regular one, and there goes. It's pretty. So now we're gonna add another sound. So let's change our coarse tuning here. We'll go up 2 octaves, and we'll just do a little bit. It's gonna be a little more detuned. All right, now it's getting a little noisier, so that's kind of cool. So all we've done is use 3 oscillators. So now let's go ahead and add the 4th one. And again, these are just sine waves, and we're going to bump this up to octave numero 4, and we'll leave the fine tuning as is. And now we're getting some wicked noise effects, and all we've done is stack sine waves. So in the next video, we're going to go over this window, where each individual oscillator, where you can change you have all these different wave options, all your oscillator options, and then all your envelope options, and then you can get into changing the harmonics of the wave. So we're going to get into that in the next one. So number 1, launch Ableton right now if you haven't already. Open an operator and just start playing with your levels here, your coarse, your fine tuning. If you like drones like I do, you throw a fixed one in there, and cool stuff starts happening. And like I said, we're looking at this chain where all 4 of them are stacked. So D is affecting C, is affecting B, is affecting A. So each of those is modulating the frequency of the one below it, and that's where it starts getting into cool, weird noises. And yeah, that's a neat noise. So you just go play with it, and then come back and watch the next one where we talk about the window here, the oscillator and envelope window, and get into how all that stuff works. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.